Welcome, welcome. Alida Hernandez here, Rebooted Mindset, a Spanglish entertainment production. And I got a guest next to me. JC is in
JC.
the house. He's going to be with me today talking about this great thing called Superpatch. It's going to be awesome. We have a guest behind backstage, Steve Schulz, and he'll be coming in a few minutes. So anyway, you got a patch on too?
I got a patch on.
I got a
right
patch. I got one
here. I
over
got
here.
these right here that I can show.
Oh, it is. Yep.
I don't know, for some reason the
Oh,
color,
the green screen is
green
taking out the
screen.
patch.
Right, but this
There you
one is
go.
good. This
Super
one's a freedom
patch.
patch. Right?
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about all these things. You're like, what is this? Well, you're gonna learn. It's gonna be for your health. You know how I am. I'm always trying to find something um, wellness. Healthy for you, non-invasive. No medication, no side effects. I mean, I don't know what else to say, right? I mean, sounds good already. So I've been using it, and yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's all
anyway,
you can see.
before
No, I just want to show
oh,
them.
okay. He's trying to see.
Is
It's
there-
hard to see what the
Oh yeah.
and you can't
Oh,
see
but
it.
look, you can see the print right there.
Yeah, a little bit. Nah,
All right.
it's the green screen.
It's a green screen.
But anyway, do we want to make any announcement before we begin?
Well, you
Before we
want to talk
mention-
about the cruise a little
I'll
bit.
just mention real quick about the cruise, and then we're going to come right in with Steve. So we have October 24th to 27th, we have a cruise lined up from Port Canaveral, Florida to Celebration Key, which is an island right near Bahamas. And it's going to be an amazing adventure. We have three days of music, concerts, salsa, freestyle. I mean, it's just going to be incredible. Salsa classes for those that want to learn more and be able to dance to the live performance, because it's going to be a live orchestra. So, it's part of a wellness trip too. Music is good for the soul, right? Music's good for the
Exactly,
soul, which is
always.
really true.
It's like medicine.
And
It's like
You're on
medicine.
the ocean. What better to relax is on the ocean? So come out, look
Wanna
on
show it?
Spanglish-entertainment.com. Okay, here's one of the flyers. And you go to Spanglish-entertainment.com. And once you get to our main screen, you'll see everything about the cruise. You can go up to the tabs. All the podcasts are there. Rebooted Mindset is there. And our other Spanglish Cafe and Freestyle Showcase on Thursdays. They're all there on the same website. You can purchase a magazine. We have a new edition for May and June. Check it out. Rico Walker and A.B. Cruz. Okay, formerly from TKA. So you have to check out the magazine, some good articles in there as well. And anyway, without further ado, I think Steve's waiting for us back there.
Yes, let's
So
do this.
Steve, you're back there. We're going to bring you in so we can start this show, and let's deep dive into Superpatch.
Hopefully he's there.
Yeah, well, there
Oh,
he
there
is.
he
Yeah, there he
is.
is. So hold on. I think we're going to do this. You're going to help me today, honey.
Well,
Oh, that's beautiful right there. Woo! Let's talk about the cruise. I want to go on a cruise.
Yeah, the cruise. I know. I'm telling you, the cruise is going to be amazing. October 24th through the 27th.
I'd say anytime you get a bunch of people on a boat, it just turns into a party, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
absolutely,
It's going to be a good party. It's an adult party, as I say, mature. We're grown and sexy, as we say.
Exactly.
All right.
Okay, we're at that age, grown and sexy. So that's what kind of party we're going to have. A full orchestra of musicians with different lineup of artists, just bringing their flavor of salsa and their culture and freestyle music, and some New York, Miami there. I mean, it's going to be
A little
really
bit of
good.
everything. A little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be fun. That's going to be fun, you guys. Nice job.
Yeah. I have to carry some Superpatch with me.
It'll help you go all night.
Exactly. I know
So-
there's a new one now. It's called Boost, I think it is.
That's our energy patch. Yeah, that's a big one. That is quickly becoming our #1 patch right there. It's called Boost.
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 And what's kind of cool about this, you guys. I know we'll get into all of this, but the energy drink market is a $74 billion a year industry. And seriously, when you walk into a convenience store, the coolers are filled with Red Bull and Monster Energies, and you go to the checkout, there's 5-hour energy. But how would you like to have the energy that you get from those products without any of the crash? No side effects whatsoever, no ingredients whatsoever, and the energy lasts all day long. It doesn't last 5 hours. It lasts 24 hours if you keep this patch on. So we're pretty excited about it.
Yeah, I gotta get one of those because I haven't tried that one. I have the Liberty and the Freedom.
Yeah.
And I ordered some new ones now, so we'll see
Cool.
what I get.
Cool.
So, Steve, so how did you start with all this? I mean, what's your background?
I tell you what, you guys, I've been in the networking industry and the promotions industry, you know, finding great products and then building teams of people to help promote them. I've been in this crazy profession for 35 years now. And 35 years ago, when I was first introduced to the concept of this, I was a 5th grade school teacher. My wife was a 1st grade school teacher.
Yeah.
We were dead broke full-time school teachers. I mean, we didn't make enough money to last the end of the month, you know. And we got introduced to this crazy profession, and it absolutely exploded for us. You know, we found a great product that we could promote. And we built a huge organization. We built a team of 225,000 people. You guys imagine getting paid off the efforts of 225,000 people every 30 days.
Wow.
And that's what we were able to do. And what happened is 3 years ago now, I got a random phone call from a gentleman by the name of Jay Dollywall. Now, I had no idea who this guy was. I'd never heard of his company before. And when he called me, I looked at my phone, and on my caller ID, it said Toronto. And I'm like, okay, well, I know a lot of people in Canada, but they're all in my contacts. But for whatever reason, I answered the phone. And Jay introduced himself to me. And I said, Jay, how did you even know to call me? He said, well, I was talking to a friend of yours, and he was telling me about your success in the industry. And he said, Steve, I need your help. And I thought to myself, I've never even met this guy. And he's asking me for my help, you know, which was kind of strange to me. And I said, Jay, what can I do for you? Mm-hmm. And he said, well, Steve, I want to tell you a little bit about my company, and I want to know if you'd be interested in helping me build it. Mm-hmm. And I said, Jay, what do you do? And that's where it all started here, you guys, with the Superpatch. And what he proceeded to tell me, I was shaking my head. I was sitting right here at this desk, as a matter of fact. I live just outside of right between Madison and Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And I'll tell you what Jay said to me, guys. It's a pretty quick story. Jay said, I invented a little patch. And I know you guys were showing it just a little while ago, but
I just put one on my live right here.
There you go. Yeah, right there. You got this right here. You got the Liberty patch right there.
Exactly. I got the Liberty patch.
Yeah. And Jay said to me, he said, I invented a patch. And he said, it's a small little patch. It's only 2 inches by 2 inches. But he said the uniqueness of this patch is that there's nothing on it. No drugs, no stimulants, no supplements, no vitamins, no chemicals. In fact, no ingredients whatsoever. He said the only thing that's on this patch is a pattern. And the pattern has ridges on it. And when those ridges come in contact with your skin, the receptors in your skin can read the pattern like a QR code. And it sends a message back to your brain to fix things. And he said, I've got a patch that will help people with balance, stability, and range of motion. I've got one to help people deal with pain. I've got one to help people sleep at night. I've got one to help people focus, one to help people deal with stress and anxiety, one for weight loss, one for energy, one for cognitive decline, one for building your immune system. And you guys, he's going on and on and on. And it was a good thing that it was a phone call and not a Zoom type presentation,
right?
Because I was rolling my eyes.
You're like, what?
I said, this dude is wasting my time. This guy's trying to tell me that all I have to do is put this little patch on my arm that has nothing on it, and my pain's going to go away. I said, there's no way. So I let him talk for a few more minutes, and I actually cut him off. And I said, Jay, this sounds amazing, but I don't get it. I don't get it. And he said, can you come to Toronto? And I said, yeah. So I flew up to Toronto and I met Jay. And the first thing he said to me when I walked into his office, he said, Steve, I'm going to prove to you how this technology works. Now, you guys, he chose his words very carefully because he didn't say, I'm going to show you how this works. He said, I'm going to prove to you how this technology works. He doesn't call this a product. He calls it a technology.
Yeah.
And not only did he prove to me that it works, but it works instantly. Like, and you guys know this because when you put a patch on, you start feeling a certain way. You take the patch off, the feeling goes away. He was able to do this little balance demonstration with me where he was able to knock me off balance. And then he put a Liberty patch on my arm. We redid the balance test and he couldn't even move me. And you guys, I thought he was playing a trick on me. I'm like, there is no way. There's no way that he can knock me off balance, put this on my arm, and now he can't even move me. So this is what I did. I went out to his customer service department and I grabbed a couple of people. And I said, come here, I want to do this test on you. And I did it on them. They did it on me. And it worked every single time. And I looked at Jay and I said, you know, Jay, what you're telling me here is that you have a drug-free, chemical-free solution for all of those things? He goes, yes. I said, I'm in. I said, Jay, I've been doing this at the time. It was 32 years. I said, I've been doing this for 32 years and I've never seen anything like this. I said, Jay, I've been the president of health and wellness companies and I've never seen anything like this. And I said, Jay, you have no competition. I said, there's nobody in the world doing what you're doing. I said, yes, there's patch companies out there, but right? And they've got supplements and stimulants on their patches and it slow releases into your skin. I said, nobody is doing what you're doing. And I said, you've got something here that can change the world. And he smiled at me and he said, that's why I called you. And so you guys, that's why I'm sitting here today.
Wow, that's awesome.
And it's been an amazing ride so far, but we're just getting it started.
Yeah, I know. We're going to get our people on these patches. And hopefully people, if anybody's on that has questions, they can let us know. Or I put on my, so my link is spanglish.superpatch.com. So you guys can, that's my page there. You can go straight to our Superpatch page, order patches and learn more about the business and also just reach out to us, so we can get together with Steve and talk more about the business.
Yeah, the thing too, when people go to that site, they're going to see 13 different patches, and listen, it sounds crazy, and I tell people that all the time. I said it sounds like a crazy idea. People aren't going to understand it. It might even sound a little bit silly, and I always say just because you don't understand something doesn't mean that it's not real. And a perfect example of that is my phone. Guys, I use this phone every single day, and I have no idea how it works. Right?
True.
And so
most people don't know.
I use these patches every single day, and I'm not exactly sure how they work. But when people go to the site, you guys, they're going to be able to look at the patches. They're going to read about all the different things that they do, and they get a 25% discount on their order, which is fabulous. In fact, people who order using that link right there for the first time, they're going to pay exactly what you pay and what I pay for these patches. So we want to spread the word as fast as we possibly can.
Get a discount. Yeah. So everybody get on it. Get a Spanglish-.superpatch.com. You can check out the super patches there. They're all different types. I mean, when you go on there, aren't there like some celebrities already using them, athletes and things like that?
Yeah. We definitely, we've got it all over the sports world. Okay. We've got 12 NFL teams that are now wearing these patches. We've got it all over the NBA. All over Major League Baseball. We're a Canadian company, so it's all over the National Hockey League. We've got a lot of hockey players.
I'm watching the hockey. I'm watching.
There you go, right?
Panthers.
Sorry, Panthers. Florida Panthers. Toronto was kicking our butt.
They're up 3-1 right now. They're
I know.
Over Washington. That's pretty good. And we've got it all over the NCAA. And I tell people all the time, you guys, I said, listen, the reason that these world-class athletes are wearing these patches is because, number one, they work. When those athletes wear these patches, they have an edge. It gives them an edge, okay? And none of these athletes are going to put anything in their bodies or even on their bodies if they think they're going to get fined or even suspended from their leagues.
They're trying to avoid that.
Yes.
They can't take anything. They can't even take like a high doses of a vitamin. They're very strict about what goes in their body and all that stuff, so it doesn't have any stimulus, right? Like external stimulus.
That's exactly right. And with these patches, there's no way they're going to fail a drug test because we have no ingredients whatsoever. There's nothing on this patch except this pattern. And
now doctors are the one who developed all these things.
Well, the gentleman, Jay Dollywall, and I'll tell you how the whole thing started. Jay, when Jay was 12 years, and Jay's background is in encryption, okay? Keeping people's, information safe. That's what his background was.
Right.
Well, when Jay was 12 years old, his mother was diagnosed with MS. And they went to doctors all around the world to try to find answers. And they couldn't find any answers. No doctors could give them the answers that they were looking for. And Jay said, one of these days, I'm gonna figure this out. And so a little bit later on in life, Jay started studying brain mapping. Okay. And throughout the course of his study, he ran into a research paper done by a couple of gentlemen from Columbia University. And these two gentlemen did this research paper back in 1939. Okay. Wow. And what these two gentlemen concluded was that every single cell in our body can send and receive signals.
Right.
And that was it. That was the extent of their research. Now, these two guys were no slouches because they later went on to win the Nobel Peace Prize because they invented the MRI. Right?
Right.
So Jay said, okay, if every single cell in our body can send and receive signals, why can't I figure out the correct signal to send?
Right.
Wow.
And he did it. You guys, he did it. Okay. Now, I mentioned that there are 13 different patches.
Right.
Now, you can wear all 13 patches at the same time. I always say, if you're a hot mess, you can wear all 13.
Oh my God!
I'm gonna hold.
And it won't affect you because it has no chemicals. It has no
medicine.
There's
no medicine.
So
no medicine whatsoever.
Mixed.
No ingredients. But the reason you can wear all 13 at the same time is because each patch has a different pattern. Okay, so it sends a different signal to a different part of your brain, so they don't short circuit one another or anything like that. All we're going to ask people to do is switch them out every 24 hours. Because at the end of 24 hours, the glue starts to wear off a little bit. The pattern actually starts to wear down a little bit, and they become a little bit less effective.
Okay.
The patches are made by 3M. 3M makes all of our patches for us in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So it's a medical grade adhesive. All right. There's no latex in these patches whatsoever. It's as easy as applying a Band-Aid.
Yep.
And you can put these patches anywhere on your body, anywhere on your skin, as long as they're laying flat. There you go. See, it's laying flat, Jason.
Yeah, I got mine too.
Yeah.
Mine's rounded, but it's still.
Look at that.
Still good.
I
got a liberty and a pain.
Freedom.
And you know what? It's funny, and this I'm not lying. And it's not doing it to promote it, but I was feeling a little bit painful, and then I put them on like about 5 minutes ago. Right now, I'm feeling pretty good right now.
I know.
Honestly.
With no side effects.
No
side effects
at all.
Okay.
Listen, I got some testimonials here. Look, my friend Miriam Hernandez.
I slept like a baby the first time wearing a patch. I don't know. I don't know, Miriam. Is this a super patch?
She said they do work.
Yeah, I've used patches. She's used patches, but have you used a super patch?
Not the
That's
super
what
patch,
we need
though.
to know.
I've used the patches. That's awesome. That's awesome.
So, I mean, there are other stuff out there, but like you said, some of them, they'll have some kind of medicine or something.
Right, or
to
some
it,
smell,
or,
some smell that you don't like, you know?
Exactly. You don't want to get a reaction to it. And now for the weight loss, do you know anything about how does that weight loss patch work?
Oh, there it is.
Yes, I'll tell you about this one, guys. This is called Ignite. All right. By simply wearing the Ignite patch, the average person is going to burn an extra 25% more calories at rest.
Oh, nice. Okay,
now I got everybody's attention, right? Okay.
Cuando descansa. I should have done it. Vice versa.
Yeah.
I have to do my Spanish version.
The average metabolic rate for the average person is 2,000 calories. Guys, we burn about 2,000 calories a day just living. Okay. By simply applying the Ignite patch anywhere on your body that lays flat, the average person is going to burn an extra 500 calories a day.
That's going to make a difference. That's going to make a difference.
So I was telling people that the other day, and they're like, well, what if I wear 2 patches?
They're so greedy. Let me put a whole body.
That's the problem. Wait a minute. See, you just hit a key point there.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with society. you know, they want a magic
Quick fix,
pill,
a
they
quick
want a quick
fix.
fix, and then once they find something, they want to double up on the dose. And you know, it doesn't work like that, you know.
Dude, it's so funny. I'm like, no, you just need one. You just need one of these patches a day. Everything is fine. But I tell people, I said, if you want to get the maximum benefit out of the Ignite patch, you just wear that right over your mouth.
There you go.
Wear it right over your mouth. Yeah, so that's the Ignite patch. This is a very, very popular patch right here. Listen, I tell people, like, just because you burn an extra 500 calories, that doesn't mean you can go eat a full pizza every night.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you.
See, that's another problem.
Because the common sense, that word that people, what's that?
Totally. That's
I'm gonna take these 2 pills that reduce cholesterol, but I'm gonna go, and after I take, I'm gonna have a burger and cheese on it.
I know. It's, you know, the people think that just because they take so-called medications, that's going to allow them to continue the bad habits, and that doesn't work. You need to change your mindset, like I always say, and think a new way of living. You want to live better. You want to live longer. So what these patches is giving you some wellness. There's some things I think for addiction too, for mental health, for anxiety, for sleep, if you can't sleep at night, for pain. So there's different ones. Yeah.
Yeah. We've got, I tell people all the time, I said, listen, I don't care what, you know, if you're male or female, I don't care what color your skin is. I don't even care what age you are.
Exactly.
If you have skin, we have a patch for you. And there's more being developed. There's more patches being developed.
Fellas, I got something. I heard. I had a rumor, you know, that they had either they have it already, or they were making a patch. You know, instead of having Viagra and the Blue Chew and all that other stuff. Oh, wait a minute. It's gonna pop it up on screen. Don't tell me that.
Yeah, there's right there. It's called a rocket.
Oh,
the rocket! You can't forget it now.
There you go. Rocket, baby, rocket. There you go.
This is called Rocket. And
for men and women.
For men and women, I think.
For men and women. Yep.
Okay.
And what it's going to do, it's going to put a little bit more energy back into the bedroom is what it's going to do. And we're just pretend we're on the cruise. This is an adult show.
Exactly.
We
take a rocket packet with you, so when you're, you know, in your balcony room, you can have some fun.
You just let her go. Just let her go. But yes, we absolutely have a patch for that. I was doing a live event, I think it was last month, and I was talking about the rocket patch up in front of the room, and some lady yells out, "Don't tell my husband about that one."
Oh my God, that's funny. That's funny.
I know. She's like, "Oh no, please leave him alone."
She goes, "I'll buy them all except that one."
Oh no.
Wow.
That's funny. But hey, that's so good because you have different ones. We had talked to a person who was having problems sleeping, and they used the patch and they slept. They had a good night's sleep. Because I haven't slept in months. I said,
you guys, 6 billion people in the world have trouble sleeping at night. 6 billion. You know, that's a major problem. And we've got a drug-free, chemical-free solution to help them sleep. This patch right here is becoming my favorite patch. This is called the Peace Patch.
The Peace Patch. Okay?
When you
it sounds peaceful.
It sounds peaceful.
It sounds peaceful.
Peace out, brother. This is this patch right here helps with stress and anxiety. Okay, 2.4 billion people suffer from high stress and anxiety.
And take medication and all this stuff. I mean, the era of Xanax and all those pills for the.
We're not. I'm more of a naturalist, you know. No.
That's why we're doing
Tylenol, no nothing, no drugs, no nothing, no pills, no.
You know what's funny about that is people ask me all the time. They always say, "Well, how does it work?" And you know what my answer is? I don't know. I don't know how. But nobody knows how Tylenol works either.
No.
Nobody knows how ibuprofen works either. So I was talking to Jay about this. And I said, "Jay, come on, man." I said, "How does it work?" And he gave me this long scientific explanation. And I'm like, "Jay, come on, man. I'm not a neuroscientist. I would never use those terms. How am I supposed to explain this to my friends?"
Right.
And he said, "Here's how you explain it." And guys, this is what got me. He said, "Steve, I need you to close your eyes and hold out your hand." So I did. And he put a pen in my hand.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "What's in your hand right now?" I said, "Jay, it's a pen." He goes, "How do you know? Your eyes are closed. How do you know?" I said, "Jay, because I know what a pen feels like." He said, "Exactly." He said, "Your skin is sending a message to your brain that says this is a pen."
That is true.
Yeah.
That is really true. Wow.
He said, "Steve, I could have put anything in your hand and you would have known what it was without looking at it." He said, "I've just figured out a way to create a pattern that when it touches your skin reads it, sends a message back to your brain to fix broken neural pathways." He calls this Braille for the brain.
Yeah.
And you guys,
That's
it is exploding around the world. The company is 15 years old. Jay has been working on this technology for 15 years. We launched these tiny little patches in January of 2023. In our first year, we did $60 million in revenue.
Wow.
Guys, we averaged $5 million a month in sales in our first year. Okay.
Wow.
Last year, 2024, we did just over 100 million in revenue.
Wow.
And this year, 2025, we're on track to do over $200 million in sales off a $2 patch. That's a lot of patches, right?
Wow.
And when I joined Jay, we could only do business in the United States, Canada, and the United Kingdom. In June of 2023, we opened up all 27 countries in the European Union. We put 40,000 people into the business in those countries in 6 months. In 2025, we are opening up Colombia, Switzerland, Turkey, and Mexico. Right? Mexico. In fact, we opened Turkey on May 1st. And the reason that we can open up the world so fast is because we have no ingredients.
That's right.
We don't have to get anything approved. All we have to do is get our business licenses approved in those countries,
Right.
and we're open for business.
Wow.
Yes, we can open up, a country like Mexico, Germany, France, Italy. We can open up countries like that with a warehouse half the size of your garage.
Yeah.
Because
They
they're
don't take up.
small. Because they're so small. And that's
They fit in your purse. I put them in my purse and go somewhere. Oh, you need a patch here. Here, put a patch on. I'm like,
Oh no! First you do the test.
the test.
the balance test.
Yeah, you do the balance test first, and then you know what? It's funny because Jim did the first time they did the test on me. Jim did it on me.
Yep.
And he says, "Wow, like you're strong, man." Like when he did it on me, I was like, "Boom, solid." He was like, wow. He says, "Anyway, put one anyway." I said, "For what?" But anyway, I put one anyway. But still, it was a Liberty one, so it changes your mood.
Right.
Ooh, yeah.
It has to do with a lot of stuff. The Liberty patch, but when he did the test, I was pretty solid. He said, "Wow, you're like one of the few that I've done it on." And
doesn't want to move.
mostly everybody goes forward like right away. You know what I mean?
Right. In fact, you guys, we were in Las Vegas. This was 2 years ago, and Mike Tyson was walking through the lobby, and we grabbed him and we said, "Come here, Mike. We want to show you something." So we did that balance test on Iron Mike Tyson, and we tipped him over like he was a little old man. We just tipped him right over. We knocked him off balance, and then we put the Liberty patch on him. We redid the test, and we couldn't even move him. And then we took the patch off, and he tipped right over. I put the patch back on. He couldn't move it. And you know Mike Tyson, he's laughing in that squeaky little voice.
Yeah. He's too much. I know he did that fight the other day with who did he fight?
One of the Paul brothers.
Yeah,
the
Logan. Yeah, and that was just a show.
It's business anyway.
That was complete show business right there.
Complete show business.
Mike didn't even try. He didn't even try.
That's not the Mike that we knew back in the day.
He could have knocked
one punch Mike. Remember?
I guess you can't knock out your boss.
Right?
You know what I mean? That's the way I see it. You can't knock out your boss. But anyway, you know what I'm impressed about most of this because me and Alida, I think we mentioned it before, right. But I just want to emphasize on it. People from the NFL, sports.
Yeah.
I mean, if they use these things. They get tested all the time.
Yeah.
not going to come out. There's
right.
nothing. It's nothing.
They get tested for other substances, but this is never going to come out, and it's
No.
actually working for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. As we speak, you guys, the University of Arizona, their medical department their sports medicine department is doing a study, and they're using our patches to test their own athletes.
Nice.
And the results are staggering. And they just presented the results of that test to some sports medicine board for the entire United States.
Right.
And we're going to have access to that study probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Nice.
And I was talking to Jay Dollywall, the gentleman who introduced all of this stuff, put it all together.
Right.
And he said when that study comes out, he believes that every Division I school in the nation will be wearing, their athletes will be wearing our patches.
Nice.
Wow, nice.
Yep.
I gotta put a few patches for my next performance.
Yeah, well, we're gonna get some more anyway. I'm getting a
Yeah, you know what you need? You need this right here.
So when
You
I'm
need
live on
Yeah,
stage,
she's gonna tell you right there.
focus.
Focus.
I was just, oh my God, I was just gonna say
Say
that.
focus.
Right,
Yeah.
focus. That's what I was gonna say. Do you have to
Focus.
look for it?
Peace.
Peace.
And focus.
And I want you to wear, and I know you probably don't need much energy, but I want you to wear the boost patch.
Yeah, I'm kind of energetic on my own, but, you know.
Hey, you need some more energy up there anyway.
You know?
Yeah, and you need the peace to balance out the nerves.
Exactly.
You
So
There you go.
focus. You can put a focus, a piece,
And a boost.
and a boost.
Yeah, and listen, guys. Everybody starts with liberty. I don't care. Everybody starts with liberty because liberty puts your body in perfect alignment. And when your body's in perfect alignment, pain automatically starts to go away. So everybody starts with liberty, and then you can add things from there. Every patch works better with liberty. So everybody starts with liberty.
Okay, I got it.
Always put the liberty.
So always have it.
And you add whatever you
Add
want.
something else. Yeah.
Yeah, this one right here, guys, the victory patch is for athletes. Okay, the victory patch and the liberty patch are very similar.
Oh, okay.
They're both for balance, stability, and range of motion. But the victory adds power, strength, endurance, and faster recovery time.
Nice. So when we're working out.
Okay,
yeah.
so wouldn't that work for a performance? You know, when you sing in the front for an hour and a half.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Wear this.
But you told me the focus.
Focus also.
I want you to wear victory, focus,
Yes.
peace.
Peace.
Oh my God, that'll be.
And do we need liberty too? The four of them?
No,
liberty.
you don't need liberty and victory.
Okay.
We're
Right.
Oh, okay.
One
Okay,
of them.
I got you.
I got it. Victory's a little bit
Oh.
more. Yeah.
And you guys, I tell people, I said, listen, when I talk about these world-class athletes, you know, whether you're a world-class athlete or if you are a world-class dog walker, right? Or
Anything you do. Yeah.
or if you're a
For
world-class,
your moms, the mothers out
The
there.
mothers.
if you're a
Come on,
world-class anything, you need these patches. No doubt.
Trust me, if you're a mother with little kids under 5 years old, you need your patches because you need peace. You need
And
some
you know what?
you
All
need
you
everything.
see-
You need some boost.
all
need
you see on TV.
exactly.
There you go.
Some sleep. Yeah.
All you see on TV is the commercials with the elderly, or the beet powder,
Yeah.
or the medicine,
I
or this and that. You
know.
know, everything has chemicals. Even those beets that you buy in powder, you got to be careful with.
You have to be careful. Yeah, you have to be really careful with the things you put on your body. And the same, like you're saying, this is a patch. It functions through your skin because your skin is the largest organism, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
In
You have
your
it all over
body.
your body.
So that's why we're so sensitive to sun, anything that goes on our skin. So the communication to the skin and the brain is just that's what's going on. You know.
You made a great point, you guys. Do you ever watch HGTV, Home and
Yeah.
Garden Television? Okay.
Yeah, I love it.
My wife Colleen and I, we watch House Hunters all the time. Okay.
Oh yeah.
And I said to her the other day, I said, you know, Kyle, the people who watch this network, they have a lot of problems. And the reason being is every commercial was a drug commercial, right?
Absolutely.
And if that commercial was 30 seconds long, 15 seconds of that commercial, they were talking about the side effects of the drug that they're trying to sell you.
Yes.
Wow.
And you listen to all those side effects, you're like, no, thank you. I'll just take the disease.
And now, have you noticed what they've done now? Now they've put our 80s music and they're taking the songs that we love
And
and they're making them jingles for the medication.
For the medication.
So now you're singing and you're singing to the songs. You remember the songs will trigger something, and it's about the medication.
Exactly.
And also they had, you know what they really have a lot there? What? You know, like the Trulicity, all these diabetic injections to lose weight. All you need to do is the Ignite.
Yeah.
All you need to do is get the Ignite and lose weight.
You know, people that are using that stuff, you know, all those injections and things, the side effects that are coming out now, it's horrific. It's horrific.
You have a little.
I used to take a medication that was an injectable medication way back. Like I had, you know, diabetes way back, like 20 years ago. Yeah. So when they started giving me some medication, I started feeling weird. I go, what is in this thing? Like, I don't like this, you know? So I got off of it, take some pills. And then they put me back on another one. And I started having thyroid issues. Ooh. And I started reading the side effects of it. It says it possibly can cause thyroid cancer.
Oh, so no.
Why are you giving me the medicine? Oh, and they said, but it was just found in like 2 rats. Excuse me.
2 rats.
It's in the description. Can cause, you know, there's a possibility. There's
be one of those 2, you know.
And I said, you know what? I'm done. Just
brutal.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have experienced it. I've experienced it.
Yeah.
Here's the world that we live in today. We live in a world today where people that we trust are telling us you need to take this drug, this drug, this drug, this drug, this drug, but you're also going to have to take this drug to offset the effects of that drug. And everybody goes, okay.
I know. So why is it so hard to take a patch? I don't understand.
People just fill their counters up with prescription drugs without even thinking about the side effects.
Yep.
Wow.
You guys, every single person that is watching this right now, go to spanglish.superpatch.com and try these patches. You seriously will not believe how they work with no side effects. Yep. You know, the numbers that this company is putting up, it's no joke. It is no joke. Jay wants to get these patches to 1 billion people worldwide.
Wow.
1 billion. A billion.
Amazing.
You'll get there.
Yeah. Got to go to Puerto Rico now.
Yep.
To the islands. Oh, no, that's the website. Yeah, we have to get to all these different places. But our viewership goes to different countries, to Venezuela, to Puerto Rico, and all those places. So out there. So just reach out to us or just go to spanglish.superpatch.com and you can get more information. If you need to reach us, send us a message here. And you can reach me or JC, and we'll get in touch with Steve. So,
no question about it.
Well, thank you so much, Steve. I appreciate your time. I know time is precious, and anyway, we'll see you again, and we'll see what we keep doing, and we keep promoting this super patch, and we're gonna keep wearing them. And as we get new ones, we're gonna try them out and tell our audience about it too.
Hey, my people that are watching out there, all the audience, you see the magazine behind here, issue number 5.
Number 5 is out,
and the super patch is
in the magazine.
Pages, so.
Yep, super patch is in the magazine. So if you missed this episode, or you tell somebody, just look on the magazine, you'll find it, or on the website too.
Or just go right there, right on screen, right there, Spanglish.superpatch.com. All right,
can't be simpler than that. So
exactly. So
thanks for having me today, you guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much again. Thank you. Have a great one.
Bye.
So guys, you know how I'm always trying to find out the new and improved stuff because I don't like meds. If I take a medication, it's because I just have to, or there's nothing else I can do.
Right? This is a thing of life. Life or death
I try not to. I haven't done the video yet, but I will be putting up some clips and some reels about like my before and after. And let me tell you, I saw my picture. It was 13 years ago, and I go, who is that person? Because I don't look the same. I don't even look the same since JC and I have been together. I've transformed. I'm like a butterfly. I keep transforming.
She says I haven't changed in 40 years.
He hasn't changed. I've transformed, haircuts, everything, and styles, and weight up and down. And I totally forgot that they had the Ignite.
So, honey, I was just super patch 8 years ago. I was the one that, I took care of her after her stroke.
He's my Superpatch.
I was a Superpatch for a while.
Yeah. I wish I had these back then.
Exactly.
We didn't
That's
know
what I
about
meant.
them.
You know.
Yeah, I know.
In those days.
When I went through the stroke, it wasn't easy, man. I could have used the pain one, the freedom. I could use the liberty for energy. I could have used the peace one for the anxiety. Right. A whole bunch. I would have just patched up. I was gonna joke around with Steve and say, how come they don't have like a bodysuit? You know, you just put it on.
Yeah, I just want to see if people can see it right here.
It's hard to see it.
It's hard
you
to
know,
see
I forgot.
It's like a QR code.
Okay, I was just gonna say I called it a QR code, and I forgot to tell him.
He did also say it. He did say it also.
No, he called it. I forgot what he called it. Oh my goodness.
It's a pattern.
Yeah.
It's a pattern, but it's really a QR code.
I need a memory patch. Okay. I need a memory patch. I can remember what he said. I'm trying to put him here. Look. All right. You can't really see with the color. No, you can't see them here. It looks like a fingerprint. It really does. It looks like a fingerprint, right?
Yeah, it does.
It looks like a fingerprint.
Right. It's like your
like your thumb. Like if you press your thumb on.
But it has different ones.
But they're all different patterns, and I guess those patterns have our brains are able to process it because our brains. Believe it or not, I mean, I'm not a doctor, but I do enough reading.
I mean, and honestly, how many medications have people tried? How many creams? How many patches with chemicals in it, with medicine that stink? Too much. Like the Tiger Bombs kind of stuff. You know, that kind of odor.
Or anything. I mean, we just heard about like the Febreze, and all those plugins. Don't use that stuff. The chemicals in them are horrible. Just get lavender, good oils, natural oils, essential oils, lavender, eucalyptus. You can buy them. Make sure they're organic and they're pure. Okay.
Listen, and the worst thing you could do is use Fabuloso in your
laundry.
Oh
my gosh.
Okay? The worst. And on the floor. On the floor is a little different, but still it's chemicals.
Bleach,
Just go to the stores, they got the natural stuff. If you can afford it.
Yeah. And it's not that much. You know what?
Not that much difference.
It's not that much of a difference. If you buy laundry soap, for example, okay, you can buy I think it's EOS, and there's another brand that's natural, okay, and it has like essential oils in it and things like that. It's about the same price as Tide, and Tide is so bad. I'm sorry to say that, but there's a lot of chemicals in all the brands. There's a whole bunch of them, so I don't want to get in trouble with
just the good, the ones that the good brands. I don't want to mention names. The good brands, those are the ones you gotta watch the chemicals. They got the heavy dyes and all that stuff. So,
right, exactly.
And they get into your clothes, and then you start itching, and et cetera, et cetera.
Let's see. I wanted to just bring up a couple of things before we go. Now that we got some people online today,
nice crowd today. Thank you everybody for tuning in.
That's not the right flyer.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, Fred Torres.
Yes,
my boy Fred Torres. Edwin and Carbito Reyes. Orgulloso challenge, baby.
Orgulloso de ser Latino. That's what we are.
That's
Latino. Right. Orgulloso de ser Latino.
Miralos Lozada, how you doing? I hope you're enjoying the show. Remember, if you suffer from anything, go to Spanglish.superpatch.com. It has a menu there. It explains what you need for what your condition is.
Yeah, I was looking for the flyer, but that's not the right flyer. I don't know.
I did a little pain. Patches right here. I got a little pain patch right here for pain. And
let me tell you, the pain patch. Here. I have some issues with my feet, so sometimes I have some pains on my feet that is just overwhelming. Okay, so I put on the Freedom patch, and it really helps. Okay, if you have like neuropathy, nerve issues on your feet or anything, even on your hands.
Well, Alida calls it the Viking disease.
Well, yeah, I know.
Some kind of Viking disease. I say, are you related to Vikings?
Well, that's my one side of my family is Spanish and Dutch, so the Dutch messed us up, I guess. Those are the northern European people. But anyway, that's so funny. I wasn't even talking about that. But the Freedom Patch does help me a lot with like nerve pain on my hands and my wrists and my feet, and it does really help. And I go, it's better than popping a pill, better than taking any placebo or any pill out there to numb the pain, which it really doesn't. And it messes up your liver and your kidney. We're gonna
have to talk to Jay and tell him about if he can extract some of my mother-in-law's DNA and do some kind of, because she is like the Energizer Bunny.
She don't need no patch.
She don't need no patch. She walks 10 times a day from here to the corner.
87. She's 87.
She does so much. Yeah. And she's like, she has a lot of
I'm happy to have my mother still around. That's just
my mommy too. I'm
and
glad
your mom
that
is
she's
still around. In their 80s, and find out what their secrets, but they lived a clean life too. Exactly. So.
And I do want to say condolences to my family as
yes,
well.
Please.
My cousin passed away on Saturday morning, and just saying my condolences to myself, to my whole family.
Yeah.
So see, life is short, man. Life is very short. So
let's take care of ourselves now, and not wait till tomorrow, because tomorrow's not promised. Okay, nobody said, yeah, tomorrow. Everybody talks about tomorrow, but you don't know if you're gonna wake up tomorrow. I mean, that's the truth. That is the honest truth. And as we get older, it gets more, the probability gets higher. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, and especially if you're not taking care of yourself.
Just enjoy life. Man.
Yeah. So when I put out those reels about my before and after, you're gonna see the difference. I mean, I looked like I was 10 months pregnant. My stomach was huge. I'm not joking. I was like, is that me? Was I that fat? I can't believe I was that fat. I told JC, I was that fat. I can't believe
that was the point that you look sexy.
As I said, I was thick.
Yeah, you was a big bone girl. Yeah, you were thick.
That's a false statement. Oh no, she's just thick. No, you're not thick. You just
no, because there's thick and there's fat. No,
well, yeah, I know.
There's thick and there's fat.
I was solid, but now I'm thin. I've gotten
healthier.
Down. I'm healthy, so it's not about my the pluses. If I look better, it would be nice.
I used to be 228, but not fat.
Yeah.
Gym type 228. Now I went down to 180. Mm-hmm. So that's a lot of weight.
But that's a healthy. But you're healthy.
But it's a healthy weight. I can tie my shoes again.
It's about being healthy. Look, I'm not criticizing anybody for their size or whatever like that. Okay. It has to do with healthy. Are you happy? Do you feel good when you wake up? Do you have brain fog? Do you have inflammation in your joints? Do you have pains that you don't know why? That's all signs of issues in the body.
What you're eating.
So you have to watch what you're eating. If you're sitting down having a double cheeseburger at night, greasy cheeseburger and all this other stuff with a milkshake,
get out of the club at French fries in the morning. You go to a diner.
I know it's good. Trust me. I haven't had a burger in 8 years. But once in a while, hey, you can treat yourself or something. I have pizza every so often, but I don't do it all the time. There was a period of time we were eating pizza all the time. We were like, I don't want to cook, just order pizza. And we were eating pizza 3 times a week. Mm-hmm. And I was gaining weight and
not the good pizza.
No.
I don't want to mention names.
I know, you know what I mean. The ones you get fast. The ones you get fast.
Delivery.
So, yeah, exactly. So anyway, it's all about just rethinking your eating habits. Try to stay away from sugars and you supplement, because people say, oh, but I love sugar and I get a sweet tooth. It's okay. You can get some dark chocolate, like 75% cacao. It's a little bitter, but you know what? You get used to it, like everything else.
Really bitter. Yeah, you get bitter. Everything. Your
palate will change.
Your sense will get used to everything.
Yeah, exactly.
For those don't like broccoli or cauliflower. Or beets, I juice beets, man.
Beets are so good.
But anyway, people that don't like those kind of things, that you could get used to it. It's all about getting used to it. Do a smoothie, man, or extract, vegetables. Extract vegetables, beets, celery. Put a little clove of garlic in there. Some turmeric, ginger.
I have the other link here. I was looking for that. So there's my link for cachava. I think I say it right. It is a protein, plant-based protein that has all your fruits and vegetables in there. So for those people who don't like vegetables, okay, I mean, it's not the same replacement, but at least you're going to get some nutrients and vitamins from those broccoli and spinach and kale, all that stuff.
And it takes care of the major problems that most people have, which is absorption.
Right.
When people don't have absorption, that's when your bowels are all funny. And this and that. So this shake right here will have your body have all the absorption correctly. And when you go, when you go potty, you be very nice. You feel good. That's the whole thing.
We've had this conversation many, many episodes ago with one of my trainers that talked about that. And nobody likes to talk about it. But you can find out how your health is by your poop. Okay, it's not the best thing to think, but as a person, you need to know.
What do you think?
You need to check it, because if it's black, it's completely black. Most of the time, that means there's blood in the stool. Right. And if there's blood, then you definitely need to go to the doctor. So you can't be naive and I'm not looking. No, I mean,
right. What do you think that doctors, when they give you a physical, they need some urine and they need some poop?
Stool sample. Yep.
Right?
Yep. So, yeah.
That's where they do it. Okay?
So like the cachava is good to regulate your poop. It has a lot of fiber in it because of all the fruits and vegetables that are like dehydrated and put in there, you know, and that tastes really good. They have vanilla chocolate, they have chai, they have matcha.
Yes.
And
they got all the omegas.
Yeah. Oh, and the coconut acai is the one that I like. We like the coconut
antioxidants. I like
Right.
the vanilla also. That's pretty good.
I love chocolate.
They got chocolate. I wish they had make one with chocolate and raspberry. Then then I would really.
Oh, we just have to add our own raspberry.
Oh yeah.
Just add our own raspberry. That's all. That's it. That's it.
But anyway,
guys.
it has everything you need. So look it up. Okay, look it up.
All right, guys. See you next week with either a special guest or myself. I'll see you next week and see what we bring to you. Last time we had Hogar Reza, which was in Spanish. Right. So if people saw them and say, how come it's in Spanish? This is about an organization that helps children, youth, right, in the street, adults, women, and men to come to a house, a safe home, to recover from any kind of addiction, any kind of mental disturbance, maybe anger management or anything like that.
In other words, they'll get you off the street.
Yeah, they'll get you off the street. They'll help you. It's a mind, body, soul, spirit. Okay, that's what they say it in Spanish. So it's mind, body, soul, and spirit. It's all four. So they work on everything. Psychologist there. There's a pastor there. It's a loving home. They help you get jobs. I mean, it's really, really good. If you know anybody out there that's suffering from drug addiction or alcoholism, try to reach out to them. I know it's difficult, but talk to experts to see how you can help with them to help the person you love, because it's unfortunate. I know too many people that have passed because of that, and it's just sad. Okay. So let's help each other out, especially mental illness as well. Please, if you have a friend or somebody they
want to get help.
Exactly.
Can't force anybody.
No, you can't. But what I'm saying is the Hogar Reza, they speak English and Spanish. They can help you, like suggest, things to help you in the process to see how you can get the person help, right. Because they're experts in this. And they know a lot of them were addicts themselves at one point, but now they're not, and they're helping other people. And I think it's important for those out there who have gone through the experience, if they want to volunteer at a place like that to help impact somebody else's life, to help them faster to get out of the situation than have them stay 20 years in some horrible world. It's a really scary world out there, and especially our youth. There's been an increase in youth drug use and alcohol use, especially since 2020. The increase it's really going up. So we're having a lot of young teenagers, middle school kids, all right, that are doing drugs and drinking and ruining their lives so young. So we got to stop this. We got to stop this in society. So where we can help, we're there, So Hogar Reza, they're in Avon Park. Look them up. And anyway, it's great that you were here again. Thanks, JC, for being here today. And don't forget your Superpatch. Okay, remember superpatch.spanglish. Spanglish.superpatch.com. And you can find all that information. So you put it on his hat. Yeah, you can see it pretty good here. You want the other one? You put the other one there. Oh, no, the Liberty goes away. Okay, so I got to put the... There you go. He got two on his hat. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here. And remember, it's never too late to reboot your mindset. Okay? So be healthy and be well. Bye. That's lovely.